Been a minute, but I think it's time to do another garden update. Some things have changed since the last update video. Time has passed, plants have grown, plants have died. Let's get into it. One thing since the last update video, I finally got in between the beds and weeded it and added some mulch. The nice part about the mulch, not only did I have enough to do around the whole garden, I was able to do around part of the house, trail up to the shed. I even was able to do all the natural areas in the front yard, which is super nice because all of this mulch was free thanks to chipdrop.com. I'll make sure, and if anybody shows interest, I'll make a video about how I did that or use that website because it's amazing. I've used it about 4 or 5 times now. Only caveat to it is beggars can't be choosers with it, so you can't expect greatest quality mulch in the world, but free mulch, I'll take it. So the first plant we're gonna go over are the tomatoes. Well, our tomato varieties. So far, we've had to pull 5 of them due to blight. Those got pulled rather early. We just couldn't contain it on certain plants. It just inevitably killed them. Tomatillos, on the other hand, out of all our varieties we grew this year, didn't have any trouble with anything, and they just took off, almost too much. Like, we've struggled to keep them trimmed back. We've done well with the Romas that have grown. We've gotten some production out of. The cherries, on the other hand, have gone crazy. Again, kind of like the tomatillos. They just keep coming and don't stop. So this here is one of our cherry plants. You can see we've already gotten like 3 rounds on these. This is like round number 4 of fruit that is growing on it. I mean, there's a whole bunch like right here. These things just keep coming. It's great because we put them on sandwiches, salads. You can make sauces out of them. They're really good if you want to make a tomato sauce or topping that's kind of sweet or tart. These are perfect. And then this year we only grew 2 slicers. They were Goldens. They did okay. I'm pretty sure we only have the one that survived. So this one right here, you can see it's got some more coming. It's really just some, not a lot. But they're really good when we do get them ripened. Now that we've talked about the tomatoes, let's talk about the herbs. As you can see, we're getting more basil than we can handle, and we prune the mess out of this because we make a lot of pesto. Haley will make the pesto, freeze it in little pods so we can pull it out and thaw it in the microwave whenever we want to use it for meals. And as you can see, it does not hurt the basil at all to prune this back harshly. In fact, it makes it come back stronger and stronger. Rosemary, it's actually starting to get taken over by the basil. It's also doing super well. But I will say, we had some cabbage and lettuce here. It also died. The heat finally got to it. We never got to try the cabbage because bugs just decimated it. Which is kind of sad, but I'm not really a big cabbage person, so I was like, yeah. Also, our mint. Let me show you the mint. So this is our mint. It did really well in the beginning, and then it actually almost died completely. I don't know if it's because we pruned it too far back. I think it had more to do with the fact it got really hot for about 6-8 weeks of summer. So it just struggled, even with watering it a ton, it struggled. But now it's coming back into like the 50s and 60s at night. It's coming back stronger than ever, which is great because this stuff's awesome and it smells amazing. And last but not least of the plants, we're gonna talk about the bell peppers and then our other peppers. Whoops, didn't mean for, it must be ripe because that literally just came right off by touching it. So these are the bell peppers. And this is the most we've ever grown. Usually we've only done about 2 plants. This year we did a whole bed, which I think comes out to 6 plants, and they have produced all summer, still going. Actually, just quickly looking, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's at least 20 just right here in this little patch growing. That'll be ready probably in the next several weeks. So if anybody wants to try bell peppers in Knoxville, I would go for it. These things are great. We cook with them all the time. We use them on a ton of meals. It's hard to go wrong with these. I think we've tried these all 3 years. The only difference from this year and previous years is we just grew more plants, so we got way more production, which is super nice because we eat these all the time. Now for other peppers, we have banana peppers, jalapenos, and garden salsa. All of them have done fantastic. For whatever reason, peppers do really well here in the Knoxville area. Haley just came out and harvested a little bit ago, so I'll show some clips of all the stuff we got. There's still tons of peppers on these plants. They'll be ready here in the next several weeks. We get more peppers than we know what to do with. And honestly, we probably don't need to grow as many as we do. They're just easy and you can throw them in just about anything you want. If you're gonna make a salsa, we like making salsa verde with the tomatillos. that's a really easy one to make. Main reason why we did the garden, so we can make our own salsa. So some next steps for this garden is after the first few frosts hit, since it's now early September, we probably have 4 to 6 weeks before we start getting that. We will rip all the plants that die up and compost them, and then that way the soil will be ready to go because we want to plant some kale by seed, then we want to plant garlic, which will just bury individual cloves, and then we also want to do onions. The thing that we eat the most at the meals that we make at home are probably garlic and onions. Those go on almost everything we make. So we're gonna actually try and grow it this year because we only tried garlic once. We didn't know what we were doing. We planted it early summer and we pulled it too early, so it didn't really grow. So this time we're gonna give it a second effort and see if we can grow maybe a couple varieties. All right, so in conclusion, that's garden update number 5. So far, this year's been pretty good, other than once again, our Romas got decimated by blight. I was really hopeful we would get a good Roma harvest because they make great sauce and they're good in salsa. About any other kind of tomato recipe out there. Last though, it just didn't go well. So we're already looking at different varieties for next year that apparently are better at resisting blight and they just do well in this environment. Some other things though, like chickens, they're still doing well. So getting eggs out of them. They're benefiting greatly from this garden because a lot of the waste they get to eat and they love it. I actually accidentally trained them to, every time they hear the window at the kitchen open, to come running because it usually means I'm chucking leftover food out of it. Never thought I'd accidentally train chickens to come eat leftovers. So that is all that we have for garden update number 5. I'll probably do another video when we get into this fall if we actually get production out of the garlic and onions and kale and all of that. And also see how long, supposedly the rosemary can make it all year. Our neighbor had one that made it several years until we had a really bad frost and it just ended up killing it. So fingers crossed it makes it, and everything else we try and grow actually will grow this winter. Let me know if you guys have any questions. This is just our experience with the garden, and we're learning something new every year. See you in the next one.